From Portland's Memorial Coliseum, just now moments away from the introduction of both teams for Game 3. Rockets leading 2 games to none. My friends, if you were watching on Sunday night, a couple of nights ago from the Summit in Houston, Texas, you may have seen the defensive play of the year. I know Rod Strickland thinks so. Team.
Now you can.
Now look at that steal. Strickland, get in there. Oh no! Blocked by Elijah.
Honestly, I think he could catch me, to be honest with you. I really wasn't even concentrating on him. I got the ball and I was just headed to the basket. You know, I kind of saw him when I first got the ball, saw him kind of take the step towards, you know, like chasing me, but I really didn't look back at him, and I really didn't think he could catch me.
And there's the guy. Well, they had 2 fast guys, Steve.
Well, that's
why
why
he came out of nowhere, the big fella.
That's why they call him the Big Cat. Elijah Wan has the ability not only to run the floor, but to react and get to a ball perhaps quicker than any other center. He and David Robinson, they're a net apart in that regard in terms of reacting, leaving their feet, and covering territory and getting to blocks. I've seen him come from underneath the basket and block jump shot.
The head coach of the Houston Rockets, the veteran Rudy Tomjanovich, and he has some designs on closing it out tonight. It's over as far as he's concerned.
We know we could win here. We've done it twice, but it means nothing. You got to go out and do it again. I'm sure, you know, this is a do or die situation for them. We're going to see all kind of different things. They're going to you know, try every option they've got. We'll probably see some presses. We'll probably see some different things in the post. And, you know, we're going to have to be ready to deal with those things.
Rudy T, he's done a terrific job. For Portland, who will step to the front tonight? Will they all be on the same page? Stay with us, my friends. We'll all find out together. It's time for the introductions for both teams. I can tell you one thing, this crowd is ready tonight. Hopefully they'll stay this way the entire night. Now let's go to public address announcer Mike Stone.
The Rockets with head coach Rudy Tomjanovich, assistant coaches Carol Dawson, Bill Berry, and Larry Smith. The trainer, Ray Melchiori. Here is the Rockets starting 5. At 1 forward, 6'10", number 25, Robert Horry. At the other forward, 6'10", number 33, Otis Thorpe. At center, number 34, Hakeem Olajuwon. At a guard, 6'4", number 11, Vernon Maxwell. And at guard, 6'3", number 30, Kenny Smith. The assistant Jack Shallow, John Wetzel, and Kip Mata, and the trainer Mike Shavinsky. Here's your starting 5. At 1 forward, 6'10", number 3, Cliff Ford Robinson. At the other forward, 6'8", number 52, Bob Williams. At center, 6'11", number 24, Chris Dudley. At 1 guard, 6'3", number 1, Rod Strickland. And at guard, 6'7", number 22, Clyde Drexler. The official for tonight's game.
Head coach Rick Adelman. Big chore tonight for the coaching staff and for his squad. Will they be able to continue on, take a 4th game and maybe a 5th game? So what's it going to take?
Win We'll add that to Malcolm X's famous statement, by any means necessary. And they have to go out. They have to be aggressive throughout the ball game. They have to have good shot selection. They certainly have to be patient at the offensive end, but they got to do whatever it takes, because once you get one, you have a chance to get two.
That sort of says it all. By any means necessary. And there, the starting lineups and the battle in the middle.
Well, the Trailblazers are coming with their big lineup: Williams, Robinson, Dudley, and they're certainly going to try to take advantage of their advantages. Cliff against Robert Horry. The fact that Dudley at least will be able to put some defensive pressure against Olajuwon, make him work a little bit harder for his scoring opportunities. And then Portland's backcourt has got to respond. They've had good games, each individual, but on off nights. So collectively, if Drexler, Porter, and Strickland can come together, they can get into Maxwell, Smith, and Sam Cassell.
The officials tonight: Jimmy Clark, Dick Pavetta, Dan Crawford will work the game. Dudley and Olajuwon from the sky cam. They'll jump it up. Jimmy Clark will toss it in the air. Game 3 is underway. Rockets have the ball.
There's some confusion. Drexler got down, and Robinson finally picked up Maxwell, so now they got everybody covered.
Shot clock at 9, and Akeem drills the first shot of the night. When in doubt, give him the ball. He's averaging 36 points in 2 games.
He's a great player, and I think you just have to understand his greatness and what it causes teams to do.
Isn't that something? Olajuwon and now Strickland. The game is tied. Stay with us, everybody. This could be some kind of night. Drexler on Mad Max.
Here's where you want to have pressure on the passer, so they just can't drop it in. They're able to get the good entry pass, and like Horry did the first time, the last game here, he makes the first 3-point field goal.
Houston up by 3 on that long bomb by Robert Horry. Robinson going to drive in, try to get it blocked by Akeem. Got it back. They get a piece of it again, and Thorpe up with the ball to Smith. Penny up the middle, short. Follow through Horry. He couldn't hang on, went out of bounds to Portland.
The one thing that Rudy Tomjanovich knows that he has is the ultimate rejector in Olajuwon. So Portland can't be intimidated, although they know they're going to see some balls come back. They got to continue to attack the glass. Hopefully he'll pick up a couple of fouls.
Drexler from outside for 2. Rockets by 1. I agree. Penetrate. Take it in there. Let the guy be a fly swatter. Maxwell off balance. He doesn't get it. Rebound. Buck Williams his first. Blazers can take the lead. Drexler at the elbow. Shot clock at 12. Strickland. Offensive rebound. Now Robinson. Tips in his own miss. He kept right on going up the middle, leaped into the air, and put it down. Blazers lead.
You see the Rockets want to slow things down, bring it to the left side of the floor, get it into the big fella.
And they do, and the fadeaway over Dudley. He did it all Sunday night. Rockets by 1. The oohs and the ahs of the crowd here at the MC.
They should ooh and ah. The thing that you want to remember is that Olajuwon hadn't been stopped all year long.
Right.
And because you have Dudley on him, you're only going to make him work harder as Drexler draws a foul against Vernon Maxwell. Maxwell, hoping that the official would go his way, sees his first foul called against him.
Inbound along the side, swing it. Back to Clyde. Clyde from the right corner. And Horry up with the ball for Houston. Kenny Smith. Pick and roll with Otis Thorpe. Bingo. Just like that. Nobody picked him up. That's a patented play. Kenny Smith in OT. Dudley in the middle. Here pops one over Olajuwon.
The penetration by Strickland and the read of where Olajuwon was, he challenged both players. And what the Rockets like to do on their other play is run a pick and roll on this side. That's how Otis Thorpe scored the last time.
Side to side, they throw it over the top. Offensive rebound by Olajuwon and a foul. Keeps right after it. Dicky Bavetta will tell us. That's going to be on Chris Dudley, and that'll be his first.
Good pressure on the shot by Kenny Smith, but when you leave Olajuwon, that's going to allow him to get into the basket. He's always been a great offensive rebounder. Got that one. Now he has a chance to score from the line for the first time tonight.
That's his 28th time at the line. He's 22 of 28. And for Chris Dudley, what? His 6th or 7th game? 6th game, I guess. Rockets lead by 2. First period, 8:35 to go in game 3. Rockets win, it's over. Blazers can keep it alive. Drexler out on top, shot clock at 7. Inside, Robinson, turn around. Nicely done. Cliff with 4 in the game. We're even at 10. How about the Miami Heat? My goodness. They did it to the Hawks again. It can be done. Horry, offensive foul. Yes, taking the charge. Buck Williams.
Yeah, Robert Horry gets a technical thrown against him. After Buck Williams draws his foul, he slams the ball down, so Portland will walk to the other end, shoot a free throw.
Bam! Can't do that. Now Drexler at the line to attempt the technical.
The beauty of that picture right there was it was Vernon Maxwell trying to calm down Robert Horry, and you know Maxwell is a very emotional guy himself.
Isn't that something? Blazers have the ball in backcourt. They have a 1-point lead at the time remaining in the first period. You can feel it in the building tonight, my friends. Haven't felt this way for a while. Up the middle, Buck Williams. They're taking it to the paint. Portland biggest lead by 3. Olajuwon double teamed this time, finds Horry, and he scores and he's fouled. No matter how many people, in most cases, Steve, they have around big number 34, he can find somebody open with the ball.
Olajuwon has improved so much in that one particular area of reading where the double team comes from, being willing to let someone else have a chance to score. The Rockets all now dive into the basket. They call a foul. They're trying to get this call against someone else other than Chris Dudley, but they called Dudley for the foul.
Checking in for Portland, number 2.
Mark Bryant will check in, and for Chris Dudley, he picks up his 2nd personal foul. Now, the time remaining in the first period, 7:41 to go. This to tie for the Rockets, and we're even again. 13 apiece. Pressure by Kenny Swift on Strickland. Cross court to Buck Williams. Works the ball in the front court. They double team him. Little pressure. Strickland finds the seam. Hands off to Mark Bryant. First shot. Offensive rebound. Buck Williams. Blocked. And they're going to call a foul. And guess who that's on? Hakeem Olajuwon.
I'll say this all night long, but Olajuwon chases more shots than any other center. Right here, Buck is going to try to take it back up. Olajuwon looked like he got a bad call against him, but no complaint right now. But that's what you want to do. Keep the pressure on the official and make them make the decision. Tomjanovich knows that Portland's going to challenge at the basket tonight.
Buck Williams with 4 points, and now 5 points and 4 rebounds already for Buck. Portland up by 2, 15-13. Both teams have had 3-point leads early in the game. Maxwell, Olajuwon, medium low post, Smith swinging. Find the open man, Horry. He's tied up. Buck Williams strips him of the ball. And a 20-second timeout called by Portland. Smart play. Smart play.
Buck Williams had the ball in his hand, but he couldn't find a passer. Rather than give it up to a jump ball situation, he calls time.
A full timeout is called. 7:11 remaining to be played in the opening period, and Portland leading by 2 here in Game 3. What do you see so far, Pardo?
Well, I see Portland being more patient at the offensive end and reacting better defensively. They're trying to apply more pressure at the point of attack so that they can't get the ball into Olajuwon as easily, and then they're reacting much better. The Houston Rockets, they have tried to make no changes in their game plan. They're going to drop it into Olajuwon and force Portland to react, and they've had some good results here early as well.
And they're also taking it up the middle, which I like to see too right now.
Portland's got to continue to, attack the basket, knowing that Olajuwon is going to come try to find his man. Rockets shooting an extremely high percentage right now. Portland shooting the ball at a good clip themselves, but you got to get the Rockets to become more of a perimeter team, and that's what's going to turn Portland loose into an open court.
15-13 in the opening quarter. Miami over Atlanta tonight, 90-86 to take a lead in that series. Chicago at Cleveland, that game going on, plus this one. All right, time back in, my friends. Portland with a 2-point lead. And the ball out along the side. And this guy's leading the troops so far tonight. Said at the outset, who would step up? Will everybody be playing on the same page? So far, so good. Bryant, Williams. Good ball movement by Portland. Pop out Drexler. There he is. Thorpe picks him up, takes him baseline drive, back out to Cliff Robinson, and lost the ball, got it again, and then lost it. Maxwell was right there, couldn't corral it. Turnover for Portland. Now the Rockets with an opportunity to tie. They take every opportunity and get it done. They won 58 games this year. Olajuwon far side, double team.
Got to watch where Robert Horry goes. He faked in, came back out, but he missed that three.
And chases it into the corner, but it's Portland ball. With a hustle by Robert Horry. He was wide open, too, for another three.
Well, Rudy wants him to take those three-point shots. If he doesn't take it, he's going to take him out of the game.
Spicklin. And Olajuwon picks it up. His second rebound of the game. Maxwell, Drexler, defensively on him, into Thorpe. Going to work on Bucks. Offensive foul. Oh, there's Thorpe. 6-10 award for overacting early in the ball game. Buck Williams.
The arm will go out on Otis Thorpe. Watch the left arm come out, and that's where the call is made. Buck Williams puts a little extra in it.
Yes, sir.
You can't fend the defender off with that off arm.
Now you need a score. And Cliff does it. Chases it down. Blazers get it back. Nice hustle play by Cliff Robinson. All at midcourt. Clock still going. Drexler from downtown. Rips. Really, it's not a three, it's a two, but the Blazers will take it. Their biggest lead by 4. Drexler with 5 in the game. Horry. Nice stretch move along the end line. Robert Horry, their leading scorer. He's got 6.
That has to be one of the real remarkable stories of the NBA season. A guy that's been traded, being able to come back and be a positive contributor on a team that's driving for a championship.
Buck Williams, 6 points, 4 rebounds for Buck, and it's a 4-point Blazer lead again. Thorpe, cross-court pass. They do it a lot. Hakeem out high. Maxwell back out to Hakeem. Gets to the foul line. Dropped it underneath for Thorpe. Everybody in the building thought, by gosh, the big fellow was going to take that shot. Probably could, but he knew he had Thorpe over there, or somebody. In that case, it was OT. Easy too.
Right now, it's the front line of the Rockets that carrying them. They're going to get an illegal defense against Kenny Smith.
Yep. No man's land. .444 to go. Drexler baseline. Maxwell Takes him to the paint. Turn around. A little hook shot. Buck Williams. There he is again. Buck Williams, his 5th rebound and his 8th point of the game. 21-17. Elijah Wan double team him again. Smith swing it around. Over to Maxwell for 3. Bingo.
Now the problem that you have is that you didn't have the rotation. Drexler dropped down, but then had to chase all the way back out. And by that time, Maxwell parked right on the line.
Strickland penetrates along the end line, and he picks up a couple of more. Blazers lead by 3. 3:35 to go in the opening period. Smith. Little shake and bake move by Kenny Smith. Strickland up on him. Ori. Smith. Shot clock at 10. Hakeem. Ori up the middle. Too easy. Jams it down. Robert Ori. He's got 8 in the game. 6'10", a second-year pro from the University of Alabama. He's been a big factor for them in this series. And for the last month, he's played very, very well for the Rockets. Oop, almost a travel by Strickland. Finding Buck Williams, the hot man. 2 more. He's got 10. Where would they be without this guy so far tonight? He's 4 for 4, as a matter of fact.
2 unlikely offensive heroes right now, and Buck Williams and Robert Ori. Ryan said he got all ball, but the whistle goes in favor of Olajuwon.
Dickie Mavetta making the call. And Mark Bryant picks up the foul. As you recall, Chris Dudley started, picked up 2 quick fouls. Terry Porter getting off the bench now. He'll be coming in momentarily. And Olajuwon right back to the free throw line. 3:10 to go in the opening quarter of Game 3. Nothing rattles big fella. Here comes Terry Porter. And in Game 2, yes, sir, I'll never forget that night. 46 big ones, Steve. Boy, got a headache when that game was over. Portland by 1. Olajuwon was 7 points for the Rockets.
If Porter comes in the game and is as aggressive in this game as he was in Game 1.
For 3. You better believe it. He was wide open. He looked left. That was not the design play, but he was so wide open he had to take that shot. Portland by 4.
Now you got to watch Ori, and they're not getting to him soon enough, and he's the guy that's making the play. So they're finding him on the weak side. That time he dropped it into Otis Thorpe for a 2 over the top.
Boy, he has quick hands. He's one of the better slam jammers in this league. Drexler around Hakeem. Threw it back out, but Robinson happened to be there to Drexler. 9 seconds on the clock. Around Maxwell, underneath Mark Bryant. Ball is loose and picked off by Ori. Behind the back dribble, Bryant picks it up. Buck Williams brings it back out. They'll regroup. Robinson for 3. And obviously it doesn't go. They have plenty of time on the clock, too.
2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes remaining to be played. Portland by 2. Hakeem, here he comes. He wanted to jam it, but blocked. Robinson. Porter, change of pace dribble. Williams for 2 more. 12 in the game. And a timeout, Houston. Harvey Grant will check into Portland's lineup for the first time tonight. It'll be Bryant, Buck Williams, and Grant with Porter and Drexler. That's the Blazer lineup right now. Rudy Tomjanovich stays with the same group. Smith, Maxwell, Thorpe, Horry, and Olajuwon.
Rudy is probably going to play at max 9 players, no more than 8, as they try to get this game and get out of town. So you're going to see quite a bit of the starting lineup tonight.
Blazers showed trap for a moment. Shot clock down to 10. Maxwell finds room, scoops to the hoop, tipped in by Otis Thorpe. They keep it alive. Thorpe had it, batted around. It's loose, and the last guy to touch it and score, Olajuwon. Blazers did everything they could.
Olajuwon, with his quick hands, is a guy that made that play. He poked it away and then finally got in a position to be able to finish.
Bryant the pick. Porter drives, switches to the left hand, and all he had was the window. Thought he was fouled, and here comes the transition game, and Kenny Smith and Houston, they tie the game. Just that quick. They get out and run on you, folks, and you've got to be ready. Now they double team Terry. A new look. Swing it over to Drexler. He penetrates up the middle. No. And Buck Williams had the ball but couldn't hang on to it. Out of bounds. It'll be Houston ball. Now here comes Carl Herrera and Sam Cassell in the ball game for the Rockets for the first time. All of this with 32 seconds remaining to be played in the period.
Drexler and Olajuwon have a few words, and Olajuwon was telling him, don't come in here because I'll get that shot the next time. Drexler almost got that one to go in, but it came out, so it's tied at 30.
Very close friends, dear friends. Tied at 30. Time remaining. Wait for the final shot. Cassell, Herrera out high. Cassell can hit that bomber, so can Horry. Now they get it into a Keene. Right-handed hook shot, and Buck Williams with a rebound. He's got 6 of those.
Portland's got time to get a shot.
And Terry's going to take it for 3. Right on the mark, but here comes the horn. And Rockets don't get it off in time, even though Maxwell put it down. Time ran out, and after 1, we're tied at 30. Other scores around the league tonight. How about Miami, Steve?
Well, Miami, even with Grant Long out, won that first game, so they got to feel good about their position. But Atlanta has shown resiliency all year long. This may be the first 5-game series in that first round in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, yeah.
Chicago beat Cleveland after being behind most of the game. They went in overtime. They were expected to win this series. Chicago faced a decimated Cleveland team, so they advanced, and people in Chicago now beginning to think maybe 4, and no one's talked about them because they are the 3-time defending champions.
That's exactly right. Somebody's got to take the crown away. And Hollywood checks into Portland's lineup. James Robinson and Matt Bullard, 6'10", and it was 4th year out of Iowa in there for the Rockets. There's the first quarter scoring percentage shooting. Not bad for both teams. We're even at 30.
Now with Bullard out on the floor, you know he's primarily a perimeter threat. You got to stay with him. If you make him shoot under pressure, you really hurt the Rockets. Let's see if Portland can get Grant, Porter going at the offensive end.
Here comes former Trailblazer Mario Elie into the Houston lineup. Had a big 3 the other night.
Well, Rudy didn't like the matchup, so he got Bullard out of the ball game. 3 seconds on the shot clock.
Inbound. Get it, Mark Bryant. Score the basket. Just like that. You know who he went around? Olajuwon. Of course, Akeem didn't have any help from Carl Herrera that time either. Blazers take a 2-point lead. Cassell.
The best thing about that first quarter of play is that Portland was not behind. In the first 2 ball games, they've been climbing uphill down in Houston, and so now they have a chance to at least compete on even terms. Again, they drop the ball into Olajuwon. They allow him to go one-on-one, and that was his favorite shot. Until the league forced him to become a baseline jump shooter, he used to come across the middle all the time.
Big 3-point play by Olajuwon. Big fella's got 12 points. Rockets lead by 1. But a good start for Portland. We're even at 30 at the end of 1. Robinson, Strickland, and he's fouled as he starts to drive. Cassell. And he got him on the drive. That'll be Cassell's first. Harvey Grant will inbound. 11 minutes remaining to be played in the half. Off the double screen, Porter. Now they double team Terry. They're paying good attention to Terry, Steve, that's for sure. Grant back to Terry. Porter. He's knocked to the floor and a foul. And that one's going to be Mario Ellie.
Good exchange between Grant and Porter. Porter gave it up, went to the hoop, got it back, drew the foul.
Terry Porter at the line had a terrific game 1.
Chandler, you want to look for an omen. See those little beads of sweat on Porter's forehead? That means he's getting into that working mode and should have a very good aggressive game.
I talked to him prior to the game. He felt very good about tonight's ball game.
The Trailblazers during the 90s, second most playoff game. So that means that they have gone deep into the playoffs, and they'd like to get started back on that journey tonight.
Terry Porter gets his first 2 of the night. Portland by 1. It's good tip and tuck. Herrera. Cassell. Ran on Cassell. Going to drive, finds Olajuwon and jams it. Just like that. Pay attention to somebody else. Somebody's always going to be open. You've got to be aware. And the big fella has 14. The Rockets take a 1-point lead. Take them long. Bryant rolls in. Hook shot. Over Hakeem. Thought he got bumped. But he's got 4. All in the second period. Mark Bryant.
Adelman wants the same call that Olajuwon got down at this
blame him. There's Mark Bryant on Hakeem and slapped the ball away from him this time. 13 seconds on the 24. He's playing him tough, I'll guarantee you that. Even though he's picked up a couple of fouls. Ellie out on top, Strickland. They grew up together, good friends. Olajuwon, dotted line, he's not going to get this. Mark Bryant kept it alive. Strickland. Finds room, look at Brindle up the middle. 6 points for Rod Strickland. Portland by 3. Good game, huh, folks? Need to do it for 48. Remember that. Cassell blocked. But there's Olajuwon. Mark Bryant got a piece of it, but right to Hakeem. 16. My goodness, he had 46 the other night. He's got 16 already tonight.
Yeah, he's been able to get to the offensive glass here in a couple of possessions to pick up some cheap points. So Portland's got to make sure that when they collapse, that they have someone between Olajuwon and the hoop.
Double team and Harvey Grant's got to take the shot. Tough shot, he put it down. Harvey Grant. He had 2 red shirts all over him. In particular, Kyle Herrera. But he got that one off. 40-37.
Again, the problem for Bryant as he moves around that time is getting in front of Olajuwon.
Hollywood score! It all started with a big defensive play by Mark Bryant. Olajuwon, Herrera open. And Grant and the Blazers up for the ball. They have their biggest lead of the game right now. 42-37. Harvey wants the ball. Gets it over to Porter. 4-3. Chase down. Robinson. To Grant. He'll try again. Why not? Second timeout. No. Hold it. Full timeout. Full timeout. Called by Houston.
Harvey Grant is wide open and has been encouraged to shoot. This is a big basket for Grant and his confidence, his reaction. He's in it and trying to make sure not only does he have the crowd in it, but his teammates as well. Portland with the 7-point advantage, and they have really done a good job defensively. Olajuwon will get his first break, and he is the guy that's done all the scoring for them, as Portland has a better percentage here in the second quarter.
Otis Thorpe, the man in the middle for the Rockets right now. A little pressure by the Blazers. Maxwell for three. He's not going to get this one. Rebound kept alive by Smith over to Porter. He lost the ball. And the Rockets get it back. Maxwell kick it back out. Rahj'iladelphia, his drive. And there's Harvey Grant. Good hustle by Portland, folks. Good hustle.
Now with this lineup on the floor, Portland can really be aggressive at the offensive end.
And Rod Strickland rattled the cage for two more. That was in the hopper, started to pop out and ricochet back in.
Portland trying to really get some mistakes out of the backcourt with Cassell out there out on the floor. Maxwell Park for a three.
And he's got it. Vernon Maxwell. He's got a couple of threes tonight and a total of 6. And Portland leading by 6. 7:35 to go. Strickland for two more. Off balance, kept alive and batted out front. And there's Rahj'iladelphia. He's going to beat Hollywood down the floor and jammed it. And we have a technical foul on Carl Herrera. And is he ever hot? Jimmy Clark didn't, that was an afterthought after the play at the other end. And now they got to cool down Carl Herrera. And here's the peacemaker again. Vernon Maxwell, Steve.
Harvey Grant and Herrera got locked up down at the other end and out of it. Herrera, who looked just as surprised as Rudy Tomjanovich got the technical call against him.
Yep.
Harvey Grant said, yeah, you should have gotten it called.
And Terry sinks the technical. 47 to 42. And Buck Williams, the man of the hour, back into the ball game. He had a terrific first quarter. 12 points, 6 rebounds. Perfect from the field, perfect from the free throw line. Can't get much better than that.
But Portland's been more aggressive and more patient in this ball game, and that's one of the things that's paid dividends for them. And with Olajuwon out, they can really try to attack the basket. Strickland kept it alive, but it's going to get called for the foul.
And Roddick picks up his second personal foul. His first personal foul, excuse me. Drexler will check back in. Terry Porter will sit. Drexler back. So it's Drexler at the small forward spot now. James Robinson and Strickland in the Blazer backcourt.
But this is a small Rocket team, and they don't have the hub. They're going to get an offensive foul against Sam Cassell.
And we're going to have a timeout. Rudy Tomjanovich, he's all over Dick Bavetta right there. There's an offensive foul on Otis Thorpe. Now the Rockets, who have had everything going their way for the first 2 games in practically every department, now have got to fight and scratch and claw for everything they can come up with tonight. And Portland, on the other side of the ledger, everything's going well, Steve.
Well, it has to go well. They don't want to be in their own building and be behind and struggling for answers right now. Portland has been the aggressors. That last call win against Sam Cassell. That's his second. Tomjanovich's complaint and Cassell's was the same. He was being held. So Dick Bavetta said, I don't want to hear it.
We are down now to 6:58 remaining to be played here in the first half. The game was tied at 30 apiece, and you can tell, folks, that this crowd is into it tonight. We've had some nights in this building where it hasn't been this explosive, but it is tonight, and that's good to see. Will there be a game 4? Portland by 5, 47-42. Coaching staff still on the officials, the Rocket coaching staff.
Again, you look at the lineup out on the floor, you see how Portland's bench has performed, in tonight's ball game and through the playoffs so far. So Portland's bench has been productive, but Portland has gone deeper into the bench. And with the lineup that they have out there, they really got to think about moving the ball, getting to the basket as quickly as they can.
Harvey Grant tickles the twine for 2. He's into it. 6 in the quarter and the game. Portland by 7.
Harvey Grant has been much maligned all season long for disappearing, but he's an offensive player that has to see the ball go in. Portland rotates. They don't get to Ellie in time. It's a 2.
He gets 2. Yes, sir. They can really swing that ball. You got to be aware now. Drexler in for a jam.
Didn't quite get the jam, but got the 2.
Yes, he sure did. He rattled it down. He's got 10-2 in the quarter. Otis Thorpe right there to help the cause along. From the corner, Maxwell and a loose ball foul, and that's going to be on Otis Thorpe.
You know what Thorpe went over and said, Danny Crawford, how do you think my shirt got out of my shorts?
That's right.
And I pushed him, but he pulled all of my clothes apart, and he's still hot about that. Rudy Tomjanovich right now going to try to settle things down. Got Olajuwon back out on the floor.
And Chris Dudley back in for Portland. Drexler, Buck Williams out on top.
Cliff Robinson wants the ball and should see it against Mario Elliott.
Strickland, rips. All right, folks. Rip City time tonight. 6 in the quarter, 10 for the game. Rod Strickland.
And that's the reason why, because they're going to have to collapse on him as long as Ellie's out on the floor. Rod Strickland gets a wide open jump shot.
1 by 9. Maxwell had the ball stripped. Drexler on the floor, diving for it, waits, threads, puts the ball between the legs of Buck Williams to Dudley, now to Strickland. Strickland double team, needs a little help. Dudley back to Strickland. Shot clock at 13. Cross-court pass picked off by Mario Ellie. Shuffles it to Cassell. Block out of bounds. Strickland.
Drexler is hurting a little bit, and he wants a 20-second timeout. When he went to the floor, he was in pain. He's still in pain as Portland takes a 20-second timeout.
Yep. Clyde Drexler quickly to the bench. He took a blow to the side. Mike Sheminsky working on him. Hopefully it's just had the air popped out of him. Hopefully.
The ball goes to the floor, and Drexler goes in there with it. And you can't really see whether he got hurt on that play or when he landed on the floor. But when he got up out of the sequence, he was in pain a little bit. So he may have got the wind knocked out of him.
He's all right.
He's back out on the floor.
Yes. Rockets will have 20 seconds on the 24. 53-44 Portland. Coming up to 5 minutes to go in the first half of Game 3. Maxwell. Chase down Drexler. Oh, he's all right. Look at this in the open court. To Buck Williams. Out of the way, Cassell.
Huge save by Mario Elliott.
Yes. Incredible. Cassell and Ellie, they really got back. But Clyde was motoring. He was going. Robinson to inbound. From the sky cam, we'll take a look. Buck Williams finding Clyde. Takes the shot. And that was a little bit not his range right there for that. Ellie on the drive, and he goes. Out of the way, out of bounds. It will be Houston ball. Here comes Robert Horry back in for Houston. And Maxwell will sit down. 19 seconds on the 24. Ellie will inbound for the Rockets. Portland leading 53-44. Horry, Olajuwon, just like that, Akeem with 18.
The Rockets have scored 12 points, and he has gotten 9 of them in the quarter, so he has been the steadying force and the guy that's trying to keep them close. Good play inside.
Buck Williams from Rod Strickland, and Buck's got a total of 14. He's perfect. 6 for 6 tonight, Buck Williams. Had some very positive statements for himself and his teammates prior to the game today. Cross court to Ori. Doesn't take the long-range shot. Gets it to Akeem. Back to Ori, and there it is. Give it to me. Take off. I'll give it right back to you. Ori with 10.
See if Portland comes back to Cliff Robinson, because when Robinson gets the ball, the defense of the Rockets has to react. Somebody's going to get an open shot.
For 3, Drexler. And we're going to have a loose ball foul on Buck Williams. That's just Buck's first of the game, and that's good to see. 3:41 to go. Portland had a 9-point lead. 55-48 is the score right now. All the hands of Sam Cassell. Or pops. Ori slices, pop out, Olajuwon. There he is, wide open again. Same play, Steve. Same play as the last time.
That just shows the versatility of Olajuwon, along with Patrick Ewing, great jump shooting centers. And so that's another way to get him a shot. They screen away, bring him out at the top of the key, and let him be the jump shooter. He's the only guy scoring points here in the quarter. You've got 2 other players that have been involved. Maxwell with a 3, and Robert Ori with that jam.
And a timeout is called with 3:08 to go in the first half. Portland by 5. So, when in doubt, you get the ball, if you're a Rocket, to the big fella, Akeem Olajuwon. 2 patented plays right out there, outside the foul line, wide open. 2.
Now, you got to credit them. That's good execution, and it's a change in the way that they're getting the basketball. But again, if he's the only guy that's going to shoot the basketball, you have a chance to beat them. What you don't want is Ori slashing to the hoop, Thorpe slashing to the hoop, getting everybody involved in the game. At this point, he's keeping them close. And if Portland can keep their good balance, they can win the ball game. You're not going to stop Olajuwon. I mean, I think you have to recognize that and accept the fact they're going to go to him. And even if he has to shoot volume, he is going to get a chance to score. Rod Strickland continues to keep the pressure on. He realized that Olajuwon was out there and guarding him. That allowed him to slip by. But you notice how many times Olajuwon will try to block a shot. Jump twice trying to get Buck Williams.
Yeah.
And then they free him up on this jump shot. As I've said before, he is a terrific jump shooter. He's turned out to be one of those players that's very gifted in the sense of being able to shoot a variety of jump shots and jump hooks. He's just a tough offensive player.
A terrific rotation of the ball, especially you can see that when you take it in slow motion. He's got a terrific touch. Big guy. 5-point Portland lead now. We're down to 3:08 remaining to be played in the first half. Remember, the game was even at 30 apiece at the end of one. It's been a good third NBA playoff game. The scenario, of course, if the Rockets win it, this series is over. Portland wins it, they stay alive, and that will force a 4th game on Friday night. If that's the case, time to be announced later on. Dudley, Robinson, Williams, Drexler, Strickland back out on the floor.
This is the first time in the first 2 games that the Trailblazers are leading at this juncture in the second quarter of play. They've been climbing uphill in games down in Houston. Buck Williams has had a terrific start, and the most that he's had since playing against the Clippers. These are all bonus points for the Trailblazers. He's not their primary offensive weapon.
10 seconds on the 24 now. Robinson will inbound to Drexler. Mario Ellie, former teammate of a year ago, on him. Over to Strickland. Got to bring it back out. Challenges Smith. Shot clock at 2. Got to take the shot. And it's way off the mark. And here comes Olajuwon to Ellie. Ellie driving on the wing. Into Otis Thorpe. Banks it with the left hand. Otis Thorpe. Blazers had a 9-point lead. But the Rockets on a 6-0 run.
Now, Portland, again, if you got to find the play that's going to hurt them, and the play that's going to hurt them the most is Cliff Robinson, and let's see if they go to Cliff.
There he is. Wanted to drop it underneath. He does, and Dudley trying to roll it around Olajuwon, but a little bit short, and Akeem up for the ball. Ellie. Thorpe. In he goes. Back over to Ori. Smith for 3 to tie. He does. Now, about that, the game is tied. That's a 9-0 Houston run. Doesn't take long for these guys to get it done. Robinson tried for a jam. Ball out of bounds off Chris Dudley. And Harvey Grant will check back into the lineup, and Chris Dudley will sit down. A 9-0 run in that amount of time. 1:55. We're tied at 55. Rockets are smiling. Kelly's had a big part of that run, too. And this guy, Thorpe, from the dotted line, bounces it around, and it doesn't go. Buck Williams whipped the ball ahead to Cliff Robinson. Back to Strickland. Still tied at 55, minute and a half to go. Cliff Robinson unties it. That's just his 6th point of the game. First 2 here in the second period, but pulled it back out on top again. Elijah wanted double teamed, and Strickland from behind to slap the ball away. 15 seconds on the 24. Minute 19 to go in the half. Kenny Smith checking the clock. Over to Ori for 3. Air ball. Thorpe trying to save it. Not only tried, he does. Gets it into Elijah one. And his shot is off the mark. Blazers get a break. We got the 3-on-3. Strickland hesitates. Drives into the corner. Grant. Harvey Grant. Big basket. 8 points in the quarter. And a timeout is called by Houston, but Portland leading 59-55 after the Rockets charge on a 9-0 run to come back to tie it. Little 20-second timeout.
Portland in transition, trying to beat the Rockets back, who've done a real good job of transition defense. And Rod Strickland creating some penetration will find Harvey Grant. And when Grant sees a couple of balls go in, he's a very competent offensive player tonight. He's been very sharp. 8.25 for Harvey Grant.
That's the series so far. Rockets leading 2 games to none, and of course this the 3rd game tonight. Will be on Blazer Cable if there is to be a game 4 on Friday night. Time to be announced if there's a 5th game in Houston, NBC on Sunday. But first things first. Portland by 4. Shot clock at 10:40 seconds in the quarter. Herrera. Oh, we got a little muscling inside, and that's going to be on Cliff Robinson. He was behind Elijah Wan, and Cliff picks up his first personal foul. Trying to muscle the big fella pretty good. 38 seconds to go in the half. 3:24.
It's a tough matchup for Cliff, and what you want to do to help him is have pressure on the basketball if you can. Kenny Smith goes down. And they're going to call a foul against Cliff Robinson, and matches that headband off, I believe, the call.
Back-to-back fouls on Cliff, and a technical on Cliff Robinson, called by Dan Crawford.
And Elijah Wan trying to get Harvey Grant to get a technical too.
Kenny Smith will attempt the technical on Cliff Robinson. Clifford is really hot. So now it's 59-56. Portland by 3. And the wet stuff being wiped up. Cliff is still talking to himself. Plops that headband back on. And Kenny Smith now will go to the line. As he was knocked down by Cliff.
Cliff's done a good job so far. He doesn't want to allow himself to get distracted by the official. You know, you're going to have to make some adjustments to how the game is officiated.
Kenny Smith short on his first attempt. 35.7 seconds to go in the first half. We were tied at 30 at the end of 1. Smith gets one, so it's a 2-point Portland lead, and they have the ball in the hands of Rahj'iladelphia. All the way to the rack. It'll be good if it goes. You better believe it. It's good. He'll shoot one. Kenny Smith picks up the foul. Penetration again, Steve.
Rod Strickland very quickly in transition before Olajuwon can get back. You can see Olajuwon trying to track it, and as I said before, he challenges everybody coming into paint. Strickland has to lock that one up a little bit more. Gets it to fall.
And the free throw. Three-point play by Rod Strickland gives him 13 for the game. 62-57.
Been an offensive first half where both teams have been able to get some real good offensive efficiency. Rockets want to hold for their final possession.
Yeah, 5 seconds on the shot clock. About a 4-second differential. Swinging around to Ellie. Ellie launches a three. Right in the nick of time. Mario Ellie, it's a 2-point game. Drexler Robinson for three. It was there. And Buck Williams at the horn gets the ball, but the first half is over. And we have ourselves a ball game. At the half, Portland by 2. Halftime score this Tuesday night of Game 3 out here in the West. And it's Portland leading by 2, 62-60. It's been a good first half of play, big fella.
It's been a very good first half of play. The Trailblazers have been very aggressive throughout. The Rockets have been certainly up to the challenge and have responded. But for the first time, Portland's ahead at the half.
That's good.
Even
that's
if
terrific.
it's by just 2 points. But they've done some very good things, and they've got to continue to play that way for the second half. You know, whenever you're at home, you always feel that you have the edge. The Rockets feel confident because they've won here twice already this season.
It's been terrific, and the game was tied, as you recall, at 30 apiece at the end of one. Portland's biggest lead was by 9. Didn't take the Rockets long to come back at that 9-0 run.
You got to continue to remember what helped you get the lead.
Yeah.
And the Rockets are a team that are going to get back and try to score quickly. And so Portland's got to make sure that they have good transition defense. And for the most part in the first half, they did.
Let's take a look at some of those highlights right now. The first half, some dandy ones too, I might add.
The Houston Rockets like to drop the ball inside, and they want to make the defense react. And when they do that, they're looking for a three-point field goal. That's the way Robert Horry opened up his first quarter of play. He had 10 in that first quarter, but they're constantly trying to work through either Otis Thorpe or Hakeem Olajuwon. They like to run Thorpe on the pick and roll. Remember the year that Olajuwon was out, Otis Thorpe had such a big year because they were picking and rolling, and Olajuwon doesn't do any of that. Rod Strickland knows that Portland has to have penetration and has been challenging Olajuwon at the hoop the entire first half of play. Drexler had a very good start in that first quarter of play. That three-point field goal continued to give Portland confidence that they could score against the Rockets in a lot of different ways. Buck Williams was the first quarter hero as he had 12 points in that first quarter. A rare jump shot from Buck, but he was very active and very effective in that first half of play. Kenny Smith. And what's bad about that shot? He was looking for a three, but he stepped on the line and ended up getting a 2. But they want to try to score quickly after a miss, and they'll take a deep 2 and hoping that it'll be a 3, and then they'll also look to bring it inside. Olajuwon has seen Portland double team. They've seen him go one-on-one against him, but he has been very sharp tonight. He's been able to score almost in all situations. Mark Bryant came in and challenged, did a good job of scoring against Olajuwon in that first half of play. Portland didn't get as many transition opportunities off of turnovers as they would have liked, but they did cash whenever they got the opportunity. They forced a turnover there and a good, hard, aggressive push by James Robinson. That play, Tomjanovich thought his player had gotten fouled, was off the bench. Terry Porter, who was sizzling in Game 1, hasn't found it in Games 2 or 3 yet, but Portland was able to get another guy who's found the torch. Harvey Grant off the bench, and Grant has been red hot. Otis Thorpe is a guy that likes to get close to the rim, and you know, you've got to make sure that he doesn't break you down. That's what happened on that play. He drew 2 people. That allowed Kenny Smith the chance for the three-point shot. They will shoot the three-pointer, and they always will have someone out on that line making the defense react.
They've had 5 3-pointers tonight, they meaning the Houston Rockets, but at the halfway mark of game 3, Portland by 2.
Strickland keeps it alive. Underneath the Terry, back to Robinson. Two-handed slam. Here comes Porter. Porter, lead pass. Kersey, Williams, and Taylor. Bingo, bango, bongo. 3-on-3 goal rush, cross-court inside. With a jam dunk. That's a rump-shaking job. 85-76 Trailblazer lead. Clyde with a spin dribble coming in left below right. Oh, I don't believe the shot I just saw. Sweet it one.
Robinson double teamed over the head pass to a teammate, Strickland. Good play. Strickland did it. Bingo, bango, bongo.
Cross-court James. Put it down. Tricky dribble. Spin dribble. 360. Backdoor right. Left. Reverse.
Portland up in the ball. Strickland's going to drive. Leaves it for Murray. He does it. And he is fouled.
They get it into Rod. 4, now down to 3, now down to 2. There's your penetration. Here's Rod Strickland. Yeah! Right down Broadway with 2 tenths of a second left.
Back to Terry Porter. Terry Porter's going to drive. Lickety Brindle up the middle. Is he going to be? Oh, is it good? He fouled. A drive by Terry Porter. Holy backboard. James Robinson going to drive. Lickety Brindle up the middle for a jam. Hollywood on Broadway. Blazers can take the lead. Strickland threads the needle up the middle. He's scored. Williams up on the ball to Strickland. The Drexler. They score. He fouled.
He got in deep over Buck. And they give the ball to the outlet. Portland Rod. Here's Dr. Feelgood when I need him. Clyde with an look to Cliff. Backdoor right in. Oh, man. Some dunk and right up in Mutombo's bush.
Fast break on its way. Strickland. Lickety Brindle up the middle. Strickland at point guard position. Pick and roll. Yes! And Blazers get a break. Now they're going to score. Strickland. Lickety Brindle up the middle to Clyde. They score!
Blazer Cable returns in a moment.
Halftime, Tuesday night of Game 3. Portland leading the Houston Rockets by 2, 62-60, and a terrific first half of play. It's the 1994 NBA playoffs. And some of the halftime stats, Steve.
Olajuwon is their leading scorer and has had a terrific first half of play. Continues off that 46-point game. Robert Horry, after a great start, the only other player in double figures. Horry had 10 in the first quarter of play. Buck Williams, Portland's leading scorer, as everyone looks at that as a bonus. Williams had 12 in the first. Rod Strickland with 9 in the second. Ends up with the double figures along with Clyde Drexler. Harvey Grant yet to miss a shot. Olajuwon, the leading rebounder, followed by Otis Thorpe. They are the guys that have to carry him on the glass. Buck Williams, he has been Portland's leading rebounder through the season. Both teams extremely hot in that first half.
Yeah.
So this has been an offensive first half, and the Trailblazers have had the edge with the bench and points off of turnovers, but it's only a slight edge as they lead by 2.
In Game 2, Portland was down 10, if you recall, to the Rockets at the halfway mark the other night, Sunday. And Blazer Mania in full force here at Portland's Memorial Coliseum tonight. Crowd has been very, very active. You were talking about Harvey Grant, 4 for 4. Buck Williams, 6 for 6. But another stat I like is turnover. Blazers have only turned the ball over 3 times tonight.
Now, Portland's done a good job of taking care of the basketball. They've shown good patience. They've tried to challenge at the middle so that they can get some high percentage shots. You can see that's the most that Portland has scored in this series. So they've been very, very good at the offensive end. You'd see the Western Conference. And we have a typo up there, but it is the Western Conference. Sonics losers last night, so they lead 2-1. Utah with a big advantage right now over San Antonio. San Antonio is without Dennis Rodman, and they're ahead 46-32, the Utah Jazz over them. Portland and Golden State find themselves two down. Oh, so let me do this. Well, it's gone. I was going to erase this. We'll wipe it out. And well, it won't stay out. We'll try it one more time. There you go. And right in there. West. There you go. There you go. So we know what conference that is.
It's the playoffs, folks.
We gave you that halftime score between Utah and San Antonio, 46-32. San Antonio playing without Dennis Rodman, a 1-game suspension and a $10,000 fine for the activities in Saturday's ball game.
How'd you like all those other fines? Worth it?
Utah is winning for the third time. Utah is winning, 46-32.
Big fines netted out yesterday by the league for all the shenanigans that have been going on. Now, let's get back to this one. Portland by 2. Strickland gives it up, gets it back, penetrates, hands to Buck Williams. He's 7 for 7. 16 in the game.
That's what making the extra pass means, and someone will be open. That time it's Buck Williams after the penetration of Rod Strickland.
Strickland with 9 assists in the game. Elijah Watt definitely ought to look at this. Good D that time. Big fella missed. Strickland penetrates. Tip-in attempt by Dudley doesn't go, and Horry up for the ball to Kenny Smith. Kicks it back out. Maxwell for 3. He misses. Drexler over Thorpe. Should have waited for his teammates. Too quick.
The crowd booed, but even though that was a quick shot, that's probably what you want to try to get the Rockets to do. Play a quick up and down game. That keeps Elijah Wan out of the game.
He's in the game that time. Oh. What the words said between players. Everything is all right. 64-62. Portland by 2. Tension mounts now. The Rockets want to end it. They want to get out of here. Get on with other things. Drexler and his teammates say no. They want to extend it, not end it. Maxwell on the drive. He's fouled. That's going to be Drexler. Clyde picks up the foul. That'll be CD's first of the game. And Mad Max is going to go to the free throw line.
Maxwell has been held in check for this playoff so far tonight. He is averaging almost 21 a ball game and been explosive at key times for the Houston Rockets. He was a huge story in game 1 as he came up with 10 points in the fourth quarter of play. He's got 8 so far.
He was 2 for 7 from the field in the first half, though he had a couple of threes. Buck Williams, he's 8 for 8. Score the basket, and he is fouled.
This is a one place where the Rockets are going to react every time Cliff Robinson touches the ball, and Cliff has made some good decisions with the basketball. They doubled him with Otis Thorpe. Buck Williams cuts to the hoop.
He's 9 for 9 and 8 rebounds, and add another point to make the score 69-64. And Buck Williams now with 19 in the game. Hakeem, here he goes again. Horry for 2. Isn't that something? He just knows where somebody is. You're going to surround me, I'll find one of my teammates, and he doesn't.
Now you got the same situation at this end. They're going to make them collapse, and if they don't, Cliff Robinson has a chance to score.
Here's Drexler, steps back for 3 on its way. And Otis Thorpe up with a miss. Pass over for Smith. Pick up a midcourt by Drexler. Drexler's going to drive. Leaves it for Robinson. He penetrates. Banks it. Hustle play by Drexler. And a finishing basket by Cliff Robinson.
You see Dudley trying to hold his spot against Olajuwon. Can't do it, but he forces a pass out.
Maxwell gives it up. Smith for three. Oh, my goodness. It's either Maxwell, or it's Smith, or it's inside to the big guy. He's got three. 71-69.
That's all right. That's the shot that's going to break down first. Yeah, that's part of their game, and they have to have it. Robinson got hit. No call.
Here come the Rockets. They can tie or take the lead. Kenny Smith. Robert Horry. And the game is quickly tied at 71. And Horry's got 14. I think this one's going to go down to the deep wire. 71 apiece. Strickland. From the top. No. Drexler keeps it alive. Kicked it back out. Robinson, long range, hits. Ooh, big basket by Cliff. He's got 10.
So, Bill.
Yes.
Where is that deep wire that you're talking about?
The deep, down to the deep wire, right at the end. This looks that way. 73-73 right now. Down to the final minute of the game. Buck Williams, he's 9 for 9. Would it be 10 for 10? No, he's fouled that time. And that's going to be on Olajuwon, and that's his third of the game. 3 on Akeem.
Maxwell checks to make sure he's all right. He nods. But Buck Williams had the idea of challenging in the middle. He had a good head of steam up, felt he'd be able to at least get a shot away. Got the whistle.
Buck Williams to untie. That's his first miss at the line. He was 9 for 9, and
Buck's games this evening remind you of the way that Charles Oakley played for the New York Knicks without Patrick Ewing. Came and gave them a huge game. 25 unexpected points.
And Buck's got 20 tonight. That was his first miss at the free throw line. Portland by 1. Spread the court, the Rockets do. Now Maxwell fakes right, goes left. Jump switch, Cliff Robinson. Oh man, Max is going to take the three. He's not going to get this one. Long rebound to Robert Horry. He launches for three. Hits Robert Horry. Incredible. Rockets lead by 2. Horry was 17. That's his third three tonight. Maxwell picks up the foul. That'll be his second of the game. Rockets lead by 2. Blazers did not want to let their game get away from them. They played a good game tonight to this point. We got an offensive foul.
Now Buck Williams really hammered Kenny Smith on that screen. And Tom Janovich and the Rockets will take a timeout.
6:58 remaining to be played in the third period. The Rockets lead by 2.
The secret to being a good screener is to make sure that you set the pick. The problem for Buck Williams was he was still moving as Kenny Smith got nailed and ended up on the floor, had words to say when he came out. Now, the real interesting story of tonight's ball game has been whenever there has been any kind of emotional display by the Rockets, it has been Bernard Maxwell, the guy that has quieted them down. The Rockets have the other weapon going for them tonight. They are outscoring Portland 21-3 in three-point field goals. So their inside-outside game is going, and this will be a real test for Portland to shut them down.
Only one field goal so far for Portland in the quarter. The Rockets have the ball in a 2-point lead. Ori the cover. They lob it to Olajuwon. Batted away and broken up by Dudley. Blazers now can tie. Robinson does from Rod Strickland, who has 10 assists in the game. The game is tied at 76. 6 in the quarter for Cliff, 12 in the game. To Thorpe. And muscles in for 2. Buck Williams did as much as he could do on Otis Thorpe.
But Thorpe hasn't been a factor so far at the offensive end. He's only gotten 6 points, and he's had to earn every one of those. Cliff again.
Yes, ties the game. Cliff Robinson, Rod Strickland, 78 apiece. Smith around the pick from outside. Buck Williams for the rebound.
Now when they miss, Portland's got to be more aggressive and try to push it the other way and see if they can't get a basket in transition.
Strickland pop for 2 over Maxwell and Kenny Smith. The 2 little Rocket guards were all over Rod Strickland, and he just threaded the needle and popped. He makes it a 2-point Blazer lead. 13 assists officially for Strickland. Here's Olajuwon, and he is bumped but good. You could see that one coming. That's going to be on Chris Dudley. He never had a foul that he liked in his life. And there's another one he didn't like.
They talk about, Dudley meeting him early, and he does, but Olajuwon has the lower body strength to still be able to get his position. And once Dudley sees him receive the ball, he's in a real defensive posture. So it's tough for Chris Dudley. He has to have somebody really pressuring the ball while he tries to battle Olajuwon for that spot.
Olajuwon to tie. Here we go again, folks. Don't go away. Game is even. 80 apiece. 24 in the game for Hakeem Olajuwon.
Cliff Robinson is a hot hand for the Trailblazers, and he can get a score and make the defense react. They still got to continue to go through Cliff.
Drexler at the elbow. Gonna make a move on Maxwell. Hits. Clothesline by Klein to glide. 82-80. Drexler 14 in the game. Hakeem. That's all you have to say. Over Dudley. Not this time. Otis Thorpe. Loose ball foul. Otis Thorpe. That's 3 on OT. Big call by the officials there.
Otis Thorpe battling Buck Williams, got inside. You could see he's not happy with that call. But if ever there was a guy you said, I want to draw up a body for a power forward, Otis Thorpe has.
You got that right. I love his game. Portland by 2. Ori bumping Robinson. Drexler pops out. Now he's going to drive in traffic to Cliff. He's got to take the shot. He hits on the move. Holy backboard. 10 in the quarter, 16 for the game. He's winding up. Cliff Robinson, 84-80. 4.5 minutes to go in the third period of Game 3. Can Portland pull it off? Olajuwon. And Drexler with the ball. To Strickland. Tap pass. Robinson with a jam. That's the way to kick it up the floor. 18 for Cliff. 12 in the quarter. Timeout. Houston. The sights and the sounds of Portland's Memorial Coliseum. Game 3. to be played in the third period, and it's the Rod Strickland, Cliff Robinson show, and then add another ingredient, Clyde Drexler, and the Blazers have themselves a 6-point lead. Nicely done, Steve.
Now, this crowd trying to drive this team to a victory. Really happy to see the team respond after the Rockets got the lead. They have had patience and good efficiency at the offensive end of the floor in an offensive firefight.
Rockets have the ball. Portland leading by 6. It's just the third period and 4 minutes to go in the third. Shot clock down to 10 for the Rockets. Thorpe the high pick. Shot clock at 5. And down to 4, and Strickland tapped the ball away.
Now the bad thing was he kicked it, so they had him going against the shot clock, and then they ended up with the new 24 because of the kick.
Tough break. Horry will inbound. Robinson up on Horry. Now they're going to do Akeem, getting low post. Smith finds Horry. He rolled around and down. Robert Horry from Kenny Smith, 86-82. Horry with 19.
Big play for Robert Horry and the Rockets. They made a good read under some pressure. Horry had a nice finish.
Robinson had it batted away. It's loose on the floor, and Kenny Smith up with the ball. Maxwell inside Rakeem, but right to Dudley. Threw it right to him. Dudley to Strickland. Up the middle. Batted away and loose, and the Rockets up with the ball. Kenny Smith leaves it for Rakeem. Did he travel? He certainly did. Not called, and then they're going to call a foul. Or Buck Williams picks up a foul. The crowd doesn't like that call. 1 iota.
Down in here, they cut Olajuwon off. He spins back in. It looked like he was going to travel, but that was a good move, and he was the first one to get back to it. So Buck Williams will come out of the game, as well as Rod Strickland, Terry Porter, Martin Bryant in.
2:24 out along the side. Horry will inbound. 86-82. Portland on top. Horry's one of the hot men. Looking for Akeem. Dudley slips and falls, and Akeem jams it. He just slipped and fell, and nobody else could come over and help out. He's got 26, so it's a 2-point Blazer lead.
Well, that's the strength of Olajuwon. He just drove him to the floor.
Drexler penetrates, and there's a finger roll move that he loves so well. 16 in the game, 6 in the quarter for Drexler. Time remaining, lower right-hand corner. Olajuwon around Dudley. Oh my goodness, boy.
Stepped out of bounds.
How lucky can you get? What a move, however, by Akeem. Cat-like. Blazers get a break. They lead 88-84. Ball in the hands of Terry Porter. Porter, Drexler. Back to Terry. Switches to the left hand, bounces it around. Ball to the side, chase down Terry Porter. He is hammered. That's going to be on Otis Thorpe. And that's 4 on Otis Thorpe. Boy, he was really taken down hard.
The crowd wanted somebody to jump for the ball as it bounced to the floor. Porter finally realized it. They get a good break there as Otis Thorpe is saying, look, that ball was up for grabs. I didn't touch it.
Terry's going to be all right. Otis Thorpe will sit down. As Terry Porter will go to the free throw line. Harvey Grant will check in for Portland. Herrera along with Matt Bullard for Houston as soon as they can get them in. Terry's free throw. Nothing but net. Here they come. Harvey Grant and Carl Herrera there for Houston.
Bullard made an appearance, and it was a very brief one because of the matchup. This will be his first chance to actually get a run in the ball game.
Yep, he played 1 minute in the first half. There's Chris Dudley. Fans love his banging. 89-84.
Get up, get up.
90-84. 55 to go in the third. The fourth quarter ought to be a dandy wherever you may be. Gather your friends around and be with us. Bullard plays a little catch. Yeah. Danny Crawford calls a foul on Olajuwon. Backing in. That's his fourth. Hakeem with 4. And the Blazers leading 90-84. Cliff Robinson, tries to Drexler, baseline turnaround, fade away, good! What a play! What a shot! 18 in the game for Clyde. It's 92-84.
And that was a big play by Portland. They pulled Olajuwon out, and that's one of those shots that only Clyde can make. Olajuwon out having words with Danny Crawford. This was a good play. They had Olajuwon away from the basket. Clyde never saw the hoop until he turned around in midair.
And there it was. A huge basket. No doubt about that. And a quick 20-second timeout. We're down to 1:22 remaining in the third period. 92-84 Portland. Trying to keep this series alive. And the good old hustle board.
Tells you it's a tough ball game. Portland's got the edge in steals and slight advantage on the hustle board, but Portland has been very aggressive tonight. The Houston Rockets certainly, as the visitors, have come in here with a challenge for Portland. Olajuwon comes out of the ball game, and they bring in Mario Elie. So Portland really should think about, in this minute 22, of really trying to take that ball to the basket, either draw the foul or get the high percentage shot.
Bullard out high. Smith with the ball. He's swinging around to Elie. And to Maxwell. He's fouled on the drive. And that's going to be on Clyde Drexler. Sliding over, trying to help out his teammate, Mark Bryant. And Sam Cassell back into the Houston lineup. Maxwell, Cassell, Elie, Bullard, and Carl Herrera. That's the Rocket lineup right now. Maxwell gets the first free throw. Minute 12 to go. Vernon Maxwell.
Well, Maxwell knows that Portland has played 2 good games down there. He knew that they weren't going to go quietly. He was prepared for it. He's coming in very calm emotionally and really has been a peacemaker. Gets both of his free throws.
Cassell all over Terry Porter. Time remaining now. Drexler. Robinson. Finds the open man. Grant takes the shot. It's going to be short. Comes right back to him. Puts it up and down. Nobody picked up Harvey Grant. Ball came right back to him, and he jammed it. Blazers need good D. Maxwell from out on top. Oh, he tickled the court. NBC. He's got 12. Big shot. 94-88. Drexler penetrates. Finger roll move again. 10 and a quarter. 20 for the game. Glide to glide. Less than 30 seconds in the third period. Maxwell spots, doesn't take the 3. Swing it to Elie. He'll drive. And we got a loose ball foul on Terry Porter. That'll be his first for Terry. And at the line will go Matt Bullard. Bullard has been at the line, has not been at the line so far in this series.
Bullard has played very little in this series, but Bullard is an example of how you can make it in the NBA as being a specialist. This guy is a perimeter player at 6'10", really a very good shooter. On any other team might not play at all, might not even make it, but because the Rockets like to shoot three-point field goals, he fits in very nicely. He's hurt Portland on more than one occasion.
And an excellent free throw shooter, and he just knocks down 2. Art Strickland back in as they get Robinson to sit down. They've had a terrific third period. Want to get a good shot here. Strickland cross court. Terry for three. No. Chase down at the horn. Grant tried to put it back on a short shot by Strickland. They didn't get it to go down. However, the third period is over, and Portland leads by 6.
Blazers on the break, Blazers on the drive, Blazers on Broadway. That's right, Blazers on Broadway. It's the store where you'll find the largest selection in official Blazers merchandise in the world. Blazers hats, t-shirts, jackets, warm-ups, kids' clothes, and you never know who you're going to bump into here.
Hey, is it me?
Definitely.
Hey, thanks.
No problem. Blazers on Broadway, downtown Portland and Lancaster Mall, Salem.
Hey, how about this?
Maybe you should try a hat.
To the fourth period we go, and Portland leading the Houston Rockets in Game 3 here at the MC by 6. Olajuwon with 26 points. He's playing with 4 personal fouls. Will come back into the ball game. Portland shot 60% in that third period.
This has been a firefight. Both teams have scored 30 or better in every quarter.
Yeah.
Houston has been 30 in all 3. Portland has 30, 32, and 34 to have that 6-point advantage. So it's a team that's able to shut down the other for a critical stage in a game that's going to prevail. Portland has an advantage right now.
96-60. We're underway here in the fourth period. Critical time right here. Into Akeem. Gets by Grant. And he goes. Tied up. Yes. Jump ball. Had him surrounded that time.
Olajuwon was on his way, and fortunately Mark Bryant nicked the ball. That was going to be a throwdown, so they have a jump ball between Bryant and Olajuwon. They'll have to...
Stole a tap, and it's going to be white ball, says Dick Pavetta.
No, it's a lane violation.
Oh, I thought he said Portland ball.
He's got someone in the circle too soon.
Yeah.
Look, and Terry Porter's the guy that's talking, so he's the one that's guilty.
Cassell. Akeem. Gives it up. He got it back. Goes to work. Hook shot. There it is. Shades of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's got 28 in the game. Not quite as long. Terry Porter, will he spot for 3? No. He double clutches, puts up 1 for 2. Big basket. Big basket. Under pressure, too. Terry Porter has but 7 in the game. 98-92. That's his first field goal, by the way.
In this fourth quarter of play, Portland's got to keep the other Rockets out of the game. Those are the guys that have been able to help Olajuwon and them get to the 30-point mark in each quarter. He has gotten his and is going to get his.
And he gets 2 more. Akeem, give him 30 for the game. 98-94.
Now you gave your MVP vote to David Robinson. Have you changed your mind yet?
If I had to probably vote again, yes, I just might. Keith Erickson asked me the same thing the other night. After the guy had 46. 98-94. Akeem again. Well, we've mentioned his name a lot, don't we? Cassell, the odd time, too. 98-96. Here they come. It's only a 2-point Blazer lead. Strickland from outside. Buries it. I didn't think that had a chance to get there. Door must have been open on the other side. He's got 17. Drexler up on Vernon Maxwell to Akeem. 2 more. 32. And Rick's going to call for a timeout right now. They're going to try and do something else. Timeout. 9:37 to go, my friends. Portland by 2. Now with that timeout, Steve, what does Rick do or try and attempt to
One,
do?
he's got to remember he's got to get his players to pressure the pass a little bit more, and then they've got to react a little bit quicker once Olajuwon gets the ball. If you're going to try to force him to kick it back out with the players that they have now, then you got to make Sam Cassell a scorer, someone other than Vernon Maxwell, maybe Herrera, so that guy can be the double teamer. They've allowed Olajuwon to keep them in the game. He is going to score, and Cassell made one basket, and so those are the only two guys that have scored in the period. But if you can keep everybody out of the game and continue to score yourself, you got a chance to put them away.
198. Portland started the quarter leading by 6. Let's see. Game 3 not over yet. Been a good ball game. A good ball game. 60% shooting by Portland in that third period. And now they have to find a way, some kind of way to minimize what the big fella is doing. Can they get it done with 9:37 to go? The Rockets win it. This series is over. Blazers want to extend it as long as they can.
News today from the NBA. It took 2 weeks, but the obvious happened down in Dallas. Quinn Buckner was relieved of his coaching responsibilities, and Chris Webber. You voted for him, but
I certainly did.
This was the closest vote for Rookie of the Year since Darrell Griffith edged out Kelvin Ramsey of the Trailblazers 1918. 53 to 47. All the other people, they got votes. Don't count. Jamal Mashburn got the rest of those. Portland's been swept just one time, and you know who? The Lakers.
Right on. And Chris Dudley back in the Blazer lineup. Dudley playing with 3 personal fouls. Grant, Dudley, Drexler, Porter, and Strickland. Drexler again at the small forward spot. There's the score. There's the time. Portland with the ball. 19 seconds on the 24.
Now for Portland, they've got to play like there's no tomorrow, and players, can't be looking for breathers tonight. Grant
had a good look. Good play, designed. Out of the huddle. Didn't go. Now, defense at the other end. Look at Dudley on Akeem. They're going to kick it into him. Here they go. And Dudley up with a miss. Porter breezing on the left wing on the dribble drive. Going to go all the way. And Dudley from the weak side coming across and jammed it down. You don't think that's not a big basket? A big defensive play at one end, and he jams it down at the other. Dudley intercepts a pass. And Cassell fouls Strickland on the drive. And boy, old Strickland was picking him up and laying him down and on his way to pay dirt.
Porter on the drive, and Dudley will follow this in as Olajuwon chased Terry Porter to put the cap on it over the top, and then at this end he steps around and makes the steal, and this is a good foul by Cassell. Even though he complains, Portland had 3-on-2.
Oh yeah, Strickland. Drexler pops out at the elbow, fakes, threads the needle, gives it to Porter. Dudley tried to tap it down. He was bumped, and the Rockets up for the ball. They got a 4-on-2, and Cassell all the way to the rack, but he is fouled. He rolls into the photographers at the other end. And he will go to the free throw line as Strickland picks up the foul. Close but no cigar on the offensive end as far as Portland was concerned.
This is a hard push by Cassell, and really a good decision to put the pressure on the Trailblazer defense. They had numbers. They were 4-on-2. You see Ellie was there for the follow. So he gets the free throw. Terry Porter out of the ball game. Missed a couple of shots inside, but Robinson will come back in.
Dudley, Robinson, and Grant. Now Drexler slides back into the backcourt. Strickland also there, obviously. Cassell only gets 1 of 2 at 102.99.
Mismatch here with Harvey Grant against Mario Ellie, and Olajuwon will force him out of it.
Shot clock down to 10. Drexler bounce pass. Strickland pops for 2. Yes! Rod Strickland from Clyde Drexler. 19 in the game for Rod. Portland by 5. Rockets are in a dogfight. Blazers are scratching and clawing and trying to stay alive. Hakeem misses, and Robinson is there. Strickland on the drive. Leaves it for Cliff. And that's going to be on the Rockets. No, it's not. It's on Chris Dudley. Thought for a moment it was going to go the other way. So did the fans. Chris Dudley picks up the foul.
What Portland doesn't want to do here is get into the penalty too early.
Yeah.
That's a second team foul, 4th personal against Chris Dudley. Thorpe, who has 4 personal fouls, re-enters the ball game.
Robert Ory also back in for Rudy Tomjanovich. So the big guns are stepping up to the plate again for the Rockets. Portland leading 104-99. 7:20 in the books to go in the 4th quarter of Game 3. Hakeem. Oh, he fakes a 3. And a shot by Cassell doesn't go. Blazers on the move. They set it up. Hakeem comes out high to get the ball in the hands of Strickland. Double teamed. Swing it. Shot clock at 7. Robinson. Grant around Ory. And gets the Boston bounce and scores. Oh, that rattled the cage. Almost popped out, but down it went. Fans can feel it here tonight. We hope you can wherever you may be tonight. Elijah Wan, he scores inside. He missed his last 3 attempts, but he's got 8 in the quarter. 34 for the game for big number 34, Elijah Wan.
But right now you only have one other Rocket on the scoreboard. That's Sam Cassell. So if you can keep the other guys out, you can continue to try to build on your lead.
Drexler throws one up short. And Thorpe up with the ball for the Rockets. Cassell. L.E. almost threw it away. Elijah Wan beats Dudley to the ball. Elijah Wan gets it again. Back out for Ory for 3. He hits Robert Ory for 3. Blazers and their fans wanted a 3-second violation in the lane, which they did not get.
Now that shows you how much they believe in a 3. Elijah Wan, who's been scoring inside all night long, had a 2 and an easy one and pitched it back out, and they end up cutting the lead in half.
Strickland from the foul line. He pops for 2 more. 6 of the quarter, 21 for the game. Rod Strickland, 108-104. And a timeout called by Houston. The hustle board with 5:18 to go in this Game 3. Portland out on top, 108-104.
They've done a great job on the glass, and they've come up with some timely steals as Sam Cassell's defending himself over there in that huddle. But the Rockets hanging tough because of Elijah Wan. But Portland has been very, very patient here in the 4th quarter of play, and they've been able to hang on to the lead.
Can they pull it off? 5:18 to go. If they pull it off, there will be a Game 4. Blazer cable, of course. Time to be announced. Either late tonight, if that should be the case, or early tomorrow. We take a look at the Blazer bench. 5 minutes and 18 seconds away to stay in the series. They've done a nice job, no doubt about that. Game was even after 1. Portland had a 2-point lead at the break. Shoots 60%. That's a Rip City quarter in the 3rd, that's for sure.
It's been an offensive game tonight, and both teams have had some unusual offensive heroes. You start with Buck Williams for Portland, then you kick in Harvey Grant. Robert Horry had a huge game. Rod Strickland has had a terrific game throughout, but really got going in that second quarter of play.
There's Rod Strickland's stat. 1 assist shy for the team record for a playoff game. Rod Strickland very close, 14 assists. Rockets have the ball. Portland leading, 108-104. Cassell. Well, the foul away from the ball. Dudley. That's 5. That's 5 on Chris Dudley. He was really banging the big guy. Now, do they get him out of there right now? It looks like Buck Williams is going to come in. Or maybe they're going to leave him in there for a while. Up they are. They're going to bring Chris out. All right, Dudley out. He'll be back in. And Buck Williams.
Clippy's got the job of guarding Olajuwon, and again, nobody's really going to be able to keep him from getting the position, and you got to help that defender by pressuring the basketball, so they have to take a lot more time to get it in there.
Olajuwon misses a 10-foot baseliner. 4:50 to go in the game. 108-104 Portland. They have the lead and the ball. Robinson going to be short. But gets the ball back, puts it up short. Blazers fail to score. Here come the Rockets again. Hakeem. How many times? Missed a short jumper, but there was Otis Thorpe, and Strickland strips him of the ball. Good play. Gets it up, gets it back. Strickland on the drive. Over for Buck Williams. They score. 110-104. Buck Williams with 22. Rod Strickland 15 assists. Playoff record for Portland. Little drive by Maxwell, but the ball batted away from him.
Maxwell gets through, but Drexler reaches in and knocks that one away. Looked like the ball bounced off Maxwell. Harvey Grant making the call for the official, but he didn't have a shirt on, so it didn't count.
And we have ourselves a timeout, but we're down to 3:52 remaining to be played in the game. 110-104. Rockets will still have 10 seconds on the clock, and they call another timeout to regroup. But it was a 6-point spread after 3, and now down to 3:52. Mark it down. 3 minutes and 52 seconds to go. It's 110-104. It's been a good one, Steve. A good one.
It's been an outstanding game. Right? This is what you expect of playoff basketball. One team trying to stay alive and really giving everything that they have. The other trying to end the series and being very effective in what they do. But Portland has the lead and has had the Rockets a little bit tentative in the last couple of possessions and trying to get the ball inside to Olajuwon.
Terrific shot by Harvey Grant that bounced around a couple of times, and then nice drives by Rod Strickland, scoring himself and then dishing it off a moment or two ago to Buck Williams, flying down that wing. Buck's got 22. He set the tone of the evening. Buck did, with his 12 big points and hustle play and rebounding in that first quarter. And now that's where we are. 110-104 with 3:52 remaining.
Utah leads at the San Antonio series in a big way, and they're hurt by a couple of things. Noah Rodman, David Robinson a little banged up, but Utah trying to really put a psychological hammer on the San Antonio Spurs. Atlanta losers. They expected to win that series. Chicago closes out the injured Cleveland Cavaliers.
Have not heard a crowd in this building sounding like this in a long time, and it's good to hear. They're on their feet. Shot clock down to 5. Kenny Smith over to Thorpe. And Robinson gathers up the miss. OT doesn't miss many of those. Now this is a big possession right here.
On a post-up, Rod Strickland against Kenny Smith.
And he gets the bounce. It hit the iron. Kissed the glass. And down it goes. 8 1/4. 23 for the game. And of course, those 15 assists. Well, we said that was a big possession, and it was. Olajuwon. Ori for 3. Thorpe, the putback. They're hanging in there. 112, 106. This is what playoff basketball is all about. Games like this. It's the way they should be.
And now it comes down to, good execution at both ends of the floor, good decision making.
Right.
They're looking for the pick and roll.
Drexler, Buck Williams, and Cliff Robinson keeps it alive, but it's batted away from him. And Portland will get it back, says Danny Crawford.
Danny Crawford telling Otis Thorpe, I could have called the foul, OT.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Wouldn't you rather have it this way? Grant lobs it into Clyde. Thorpe on Drexler. Back out to Strickland. Pops in the middle. It would have been good had it gone. But the outside official, Pavetta, calls a foul on Kenny Smith.
Well, Harvey Grant is really officiating tonight. He's not doing a very good job, but he is officiating tonight. Kenny Smith gets a foul. Harvey Grant then turns around and points to Olajuwon, just like he had that call down at the other end. So Harvey's doing everything he can to get the Trailblazers and himself one more playoff game. This is the guy that hasn't seen any playoffs since his NBA career started with the Washington Bullets. He wants to keep it going.
Rod Strickland. This is the front end of the free throw. Franchise record in the playoffs. He gets the second one.
Rod Strickland has been the offensive force here in the fourth quarter. He's got 9 1/4.
24 for the game. Into Akeem. What a move. What a move. Robinson need a little help there. He didn't get any. 36 points.
That's just the greatness. That's just the greatness of Olajuwon. He reeled and came back the other way, and the quickness got him the hoop inside.
He's cat-like, no doubt about that. He's terrific. 13-108. 2 minutes coming up. Shot clock at 5. Robinson fakes, puts it up. Will it go? No. Gathered in by Robert Horry. And a near steal by Harvey Grant. 21 seconds on the shot clock. Ooh, almost, Harvey. Blazers need to play some D now. Time remaining in the game. 5-point Blazer lead. Akeem. Kick it back out. Maxwell. Out of bounds off Portland.
Now Buck Williams unhappy because he got locked up by Otis Thorpe. That ball bounced off his head. He had no chance to react to it.
New 24, minute 34 to go. Watch it unfold, folks. Akeem, Smith. Illegal defense on Portland. That's just their first violation, but now again a new 24 in a minute 25.
Now Harvey Grant is going to be the guy that's guilty as he stepped right there. He's inside. His man is out here.
Here we go. Akeem, short. He doesn't miss those, but he missed it. Blazers have the ball. The fans can feel it now. Time remaining coming up to a minute. 113-108. Strickland penetrates, and the ball batted away. Drexler gets it, fade away. Buck Williams keeps it alive. Up the middle to Drexler. He wanted to jam it, and he fouled. Buck Williams, who set the tone of this game, ladies and gentlemen, right from the start, just probably put the capper on the whole thing. a moment ago.
Well, that was a big rebound, and Drexler came in with a real hard effort to try to throw it down, but he had to shoot that jump shot against the shot clock. Buck Williams was on the other side to keep it alive, and then he challenged with no chance he was going to get a dunk on that, but he picks up the foul. Rick Adelman telling his team now, think about clock when you get the ball back.
Otis Thorpe picks up the foul, his fifth. CD at the line.
This is a different team. This is a team that has pulled together as much as they were torn apart in that game down in Houston and unhappy with each other and the way that they played. They have pulled for each other this evening. They've helped each other,
right on.
And they have the advantage on the scoreboard.
You got that right, Snaps. That's terrific. Drexler made one, missed the second.
Lane violation.
And a lane violation, so make the score 114-108 and a timeout. Take a look at this, Steve.
Drexler wanted this one and aimed it. Knew he missed it when it left his hand, and they said a lane violation. We'll get another look to see if Drexler's there before the ball hits the rim. That's close.
That's close. That's exactly
very,
right.
very close.
Shades of Michael Jordan in the playoffs a couple of years ago. 114-108 with 54.3 ticks of the clock remaining. And the Rockets will have the ball. They love it here at the MC tonight. Listen in. That's the series right now. Game 4, if it's to be. Time to be announced. But Blazer Cable, make your plans to be with us. If the Blazers pull this off with 54 seconds and a skosh to go, and the game time on Friday to be announced. TBA. If there's a game 5 Sunday in Houston, NBC. They're on their feet here at the Coliseum.
Harvey Grant has been the spiritual force out there on the floor. He has been very emotional, keeping the crowd involved in the ball game. And what Portland has to do is really continue to take care of the basketball when they get it, but don't give up a quick three right now.
6 turnovers only in the game. Olajuwon. Kick it back out. Kenny Smith. He misses. Scramble for the ball. Drexler, 2-on-1. Strickland. Oh, he's fouled. He is fouled by Vernon Maxwell. They're good friends. And Vernon prevented an easy 2.
Drexler and Rod Strickland on a 2-on-1. Maxwell knows he doesn't want Strickland to get a chance for a three-point play, so he pulled him off the ball.
And Strick will go to the line. 37.4 ticks of the clock remain. This could be the icing on the cake right here. There's one of them. (115-108). 25 points in the game for Rod Strickland. 15 assists, the franchise record. He missed the second end of the free throw. 115-108. Watch out for those threes now. Maxwell for 3. I need not say any more. Bingo. 115-111.
Well, you know the Rockets are going to foul. That was a deep, deep 3, and that's what Maxwell is capable of doing. They've got to foul. They've got to get possession of the ball. What Portland needs to do is lock down on their free throws and keep a 2-possession game. Maxwell walked in front of Drexler, had a little Give me a miss.
Yeah, right. 26 seconds to go. Big free throws right here. And the first big free throw was missed. 115, 111. When you think things are okay, how quickly the tide can turn. Why get one? 116, 111, and another timeout is called by the Houston Rockets, who lead in the series 2-0, and now are facing a fourth game on foreign soil. So what does Rudy say?
Rudy says take the first score available. They got to get a score. They got to take the 2 or the 3, but they can't use a lot of time and get in it, because if they do, Portland, if they get the ball back, is just going to volleyball it around and run out of here. So they want to give themselves a couple of chances to tie the ball game or possibly win it. Adelman is telling his team, when you get the ball, don't hang on to it. Get it out of there, pass it, keep it moving around so that the Rockets can't get to you. You can eat up some time.
.116, 111. On a rather emotional night here at Portland's Memorial Coliseum, right from the start.
See their field goal percentage, and they have really been sharp tonight through the series. They have struggled, but it's been good patience at the offensive end and reading the defense of the Houston Rockets that's allowed Portland to shoot the ball that well. The Rockets continue to shoot the ball well, and this is one of those games where you're playing for one team to break down for maybe only a minute or two in a game which both teams have scored the ball well, have been very efficient. Paul Allen breathing a whole lot easier right now.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't smiling like that down at the Summit in Houston, but he's got a big, broad grin tonight. Williams, Drexler, Robinson, Strickland, and Harvey Grant back out on the hardwood. Leading 116-111 with exactly 26 seconds remaining.
Houston still with that huge advantage, but that's the strength. That's part of their strength, the inside game of Olajuwon and their willingness and their ability to make three-point field goals.
Kenny Smith launches for three. Otis Thorpe keeps it alive. Back to Maxwell for three. And he's fouled. He's fouled by Clyde Drexler with 17 seconds to go. Don't argue now, Clyde.
They can only get two
out of here with a victory.
You can only get 2 out of this possession. What Portland wants to do, again, is get the ball, volleyball it around. Say he nicked him right on the elbow. Maxwell said, that's a sensational call. Drexler said, you can't give him that now.
He gets the first free throw. Now Sam Cassell will check in, and
they're going to bring Cassell in. They're thinking about who they want to substitute for. They want to give a foul up here on the scoreboard if they can. They're going to get Thorpe out of the game. They want to get the scoreboard right. Adelman is complaining because it's incorrect.
Now they get it correct. Hey, our own guys are giving the opposition more points.
Well, he knew when he went after it, a 5-point lead. One shot doesn't make it a 3-point lead.
Right on. Now Terry Porter will come into the ball game, and Buck Williams will come out. All of this with 17 seconds to go. Vernon Maxwell, old man Max, will have one more free throw. The officials have it all sorted out, and here we go. Maxwell at the line. He misses. The rebound to Harvey Grant. Oh, but he was out of bounds. Now Harvey's upset.
What Harvey has to do
says, give him the tee.
Well, of course, but what you want Harvey to do is get out of there and calm down. Get away from the official. Don't make a mistake right now. The Rockets, they signal timeout, but they're not going to take one.
15.2 ticks of the clock to go. They get it back, and Portland leading 116-112. Three-pointer, Maxwell unloads. He hits! Vernon Maxwell! 116-115. A couple of threes. There's Terry Porter, pressured in the backcourt. 8 seconds to go. Oh, my goodness. You know, all you have to do is get one more than the other guy, but and then you walk out of here. However, what a dramatic finish here by the Rockets. 3-pointers. Woo.
Maxwell deep again, about 4 feet behind the three-point arc. Nothing but net, and he's come up with 2 of those right here at the end of the ball game. Terry Porter will go to the free throw line for the Trailblazers
with 8 seconds to go. 8.3 with Otis Thorpe in the ball game. Olajuwon will sit down. Oh, Robert Horry in also. Olajuwon will sit down. Maxwell, Cassell, Horry, Thorpe, and Kenny Smith. Now free throws by Terry Porter. No timeouts remaining for Houston. They're done. Houston.
Porter makes both of these. You got to think about fouling the Houston Rockets.
He missed the first one. And Horry, Thorpe, and Cassell with their body English forcing the ball out. Now Olajuwon back in. Portland is at the free throw line. And you wonder sometimes why I say you've got to make your free throw 4 for 9.
Both teams trying to get matchups in. Olajuwon was out for the one free throw, comes back in. Grant goes out, but Williams comes back in. Terry Porter trying to give Portland a 2-point advantage with this free throw. The Rockets are out of timeouts.
No timeouts for Houston. Porter's big free throw.
Portland has plenty.
They've got 3. Rockets are out of timeout. Long pass. Look out. Look out. Maxwell for the win. Maybe it's short. And Porter grabs it down. And he is fouled with 2.6 seconds to go. They tried to go for the jugular, but it was short.
Well, they went for the win.
Oh, yeah.
Maxwell and went for the win at that point. They had at least a chance to maybe set up. They didn't have a lot of time, so they lobbed the ball long and deep, and Maxwell thought he had an advantage. Right there, Drexler catches up, but you see Olajuwon was in deep against Cliff Robinson, so they might have been able to get a 2-point score and tie the game. And that's what he's telling Cliff. I was there. And you know I can score on you. Porter misses the first.
You've got to make your free throws as Terry missed one again. 2.6 seconds to go in game 3. Portland by 2. And a lot of time if Terry makes the one for a three-pointer to send it to OT. Oh my goodness. As Rick calls a timeout. All you have to do is sit back and watch now. It's up to TP.
You heard Rick Adelman tell his team after Terry makes his free throw, they get the ball in, and you foul them so they get the ball back. You don't want him to get the three-point shot. So what Portland wants when Porter makes this shot is possession of the basketball. That's all they care about.
What a dramatic finish. And now, let's see, Rudy's going to send in Bullard.
Well, Bullard, again, is a three-point shooter.
Right.
And Rudy knows that if this shot goes in, they got to have a 3 to tie.
Dick Pavetta is saying free substitution. And we're ready to go.
Out of this, you want to make sure that you're matched up so that no one sneaks away and can make a long pass and get in position for a quick deep shot. But once Porter makes a shot, you want to think about fouling as soon as the ball comes in to get possession of that ball.
Here we go. He's got it. Otis Curtis Thorpe. Long pass to Bullard. Off his hands. Out of bounds. This one's history. Bullard makes the free throw. Put Portland up by 3.
The Rockets are going to try to foul 1.7. If you're Portland, you get it in, and you just hold it. Buck Williams out of the game.
Harvey Grant will inbound. Inbound to Robinson. And the horn sounds. The game is over. And this series continues on. Portland wins game 3 by 3.